Hello everyone, my name is Kathy Romero and this is just a quick tutorial on how to use Seesaw in a more interactive way where you could use it not only for students to record their thinking or edit the slides and show their work, but also as a way, as a teaching tool. My school currently is doing distance learning. We are starting actually week 6. So at the elementary level, and especially for math, we've been using Seesaw as our main platform. When we first started using it, it was pretty simple, just providing some slides for kids to solve problems and edit and record their voice, which is great because you can really get a lot of information just by listening to students explain how to solve a problem. However, as the weeks went by, we've noticed that there are some moments where we need to do some teaching or model a few strategies. And so there is such a thing on Seesaw. You just have to know which tools to use to provide your slides with a little bit of movement. So let's get started, and hopefully you find this useful. Before we start, just very quickly, I just wanted to say this tutorial is for people that already know how to use Seesaw and that are regularly using it. I'm not going to be going into that part on this session. It's only which features to use to make it a little bit more interactive. All right? So let's get started. First of all, here is, I'm a math instructional coach at the elementary level. This is my Twitter, and here is my blog. If you have any questions after the tutorial, please don't hesitate, let me know. I will be happy to answer any questions or share any resources with you. Just like I mentioned, the audience for this tutorial is for teachers that already are using Seesaw and that need to use it as a teaching tool, not only a place where students show their work. And it's mainly for all of us planning distance learning experiences. So it's going to be pretty simple. The first part is just where the title and the instructions go. That's where there's a little area for multimedia. This is where we're going to use for adding those slides for the lesson. Part 2 is the most important, is the most magical, where we can add pictures and sentences and give the Seesaw slides kind of like the same feeling of a slow release if we're using PowerPoint. There's a few little things, a few arrows that we could use to give it movement, etc. Then we're going to see what's the difference between adding in the student template, which is exactly where the student will edit or record their thinking, and then we're going to save it. So pretty simple. Let's get started. I have a sample right here that I wanted to show you just to see what kind of movement I'm talking about. All right, so this is the first slide. I usually just write the lesson objective right here. And then right here is where we start with a number talk. Let's start our lesson with our number talk. This is slide number 1. Look at the picture. What do you notice? What are these? What can the question be? Think for a moment before you respond. Now look at this new picture. What do you think would go inside the rectangles? Yes, we can see 3 white Unifix cubes and 8 red Unifix cubes, and in total there are 11 Unifix cubes. What does this picture now reminds you of? You are right. It reminds us of a number bond. Look at the similarities. They both have a total of 11. They have 3 as one part and 8 as another part. The one on the left is called tape diagram. It shall represent how to solve math problems. Go to the next slide. This is slide number 2 for today's lesson. For this slide, you do not need to record your thinking or solve any problems. We are just going to do something together, and on the next slide, you get to solve a problem. Let's take a look at the picture. That is a number line, and we have used it a lot to solve math problems. Actually, it is called an open number line because it has no numbers. This one is another open number line. It has no numbers and it has no lines. Let's see how we can use an open number line to solve a problem. To solve this problem, 30 plus 21, we are going to use our open number line. We're going to make sure to start right here. Now we're going to make a jump. I know I need to add 21. I could jump 10 and 10 more, or I could jump 20. After I jump 20, I need to jump one more. Now I know that I jumped 10, so I got to 40. I jumped 10 more, I got to 50, and I jumped one more, and I got to 51. And I know that my answer is where I landed, which is 51. At 20, where I landed. All right, so before we continue, it is very important for me to say that this is not exactly the approach I would use if I was in the classroom. For those of you who know me, or if you've read any of my tweets or my blog, I am a strong believer of using a student-centered approach to learn mathematics. I definitely do not believe in putting all the emphasis on the teacher and the teacher doing all the talking and the teacher explaining all the strategies and how it works and what happens. I really believe that students learn best when they discover, when they figure it out on their own, when another student shares a strategy they use, and that's when students, they want to learn, they want to see how it works, they make connections between their strategy, other people's strategy, etc. I do believe that it is all about teachers listening to how students are going about the problem. And then after they explain, they can say, well, actually that strategy, some people call it using an open number line, or the strategy could be called partial sums, or whatever that is. However, right now, doing distance learning, we don't have that interaction. We're not there with the kids, unfortunately, and they're not learning from each other. So there are times where we do need to show them some strategies that are more efficient than others. And this is where Seesaw comes in. So today's session is not about an approach to teach and learn math. It is just on how to use Seesaw to give it a little bit of movement. All right? So let's see how we can make this happen. I'm going to open a new activity. And you put your title right here, you put your instructions right here, and I'm gonna go straight to multimedia. I'm not gonna go to the student template yet. I'm just going to add the lesson. I'm gonna choose this one because it's the one where I can create everything, right? So you can start building your lesson, whatever it is. You can change all the colors, etc., etc. And then you can add your first picture. All right, so I have a few pictures saved, but of course you will be ready. So let's say we start with this one. You put it right here, and I write down my first sentence. What do you notice? All right? So here is how it works. I'm going to click on the microphone to start recording the audio. Welcome everyone to lesson 4. Let's start with our number talk for today. What do you notice? And I pause my video. Right there, I'm going to type my second sentence. What are you wondering? And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to unpause my video. What are you wondering? Pause the video. All right. Now I'm going to change the picture. I'm going to go right here to the pictures I have saved. And I'm just going to put it on top of it. You can erase the other one or you can put it here. All right. And now I'm going to unpause my video. Now look at this new picture. What are you wondering about now? And you continue to pause. So you can continue to add all the pictures that you need to make this interactive. I think I had, I thought I had the number bond here. Maybe I didn't put it in there. But whatever it is that you want to add there, right? You add your number bond. You add your visuals, and every time you add something, you click on the microphone. You don't necessarily need to speak every time. You just wait a few seconds, and then the next thing is added. So I'm going to do that right now. I just pause for these to appear, and then if I wanted something else to be right there, let's say I wanted that to be the new thing. And then you put it right there. You click on your microphone and you stop right there. So here is where all the magic happens. You can have one sentence go, then the other sentence, then the other sentence. You can replace pictures, change pictures, etc. Once I'm finished, notice how the microphone is still over there because I'm just pausing. But when you're finished, then you click done right here. And this is what it would look like. Welcome everyone to lesson 4. Let's start with our number talk for today. What do you notice? What are you wondering? Now look at this new picture. What are you wondering about now? Excellent. So for the number line, for instance, is the exact same thing. Right? So this little thing has a lot of tools. So you can make your number line right there. You can make it with arrows or without arrows. Just to make it a little more simple, I'm going to go right here. And here you write down your problem, 42 plus 31. And I would start right here. I'm going to click on my microphone. Let's solve this problem together using an open number line. The first thing I'm going to do is start at the beginning of the number line. I pause the audio, and then I write down the number 42. And I place it right here. Make it a little small here. And then I'm going to bring my arrow. The arrow is my favorite tool in Seesaw. And I usually change the color, right? You can do it any way you want. You can make it a little smaller, right? And then I'm going to start right here. All right, so I start with 42, and I know I need to add 31. So I wonder if I'm going to do jumps of 10. Perhaps 10, 10, 10, or if I'm going to do a big jump of 30. What do you guys think? I pause my video, I go to my Seesaw tools, and I'm going to do a big jump of 30. Right there, and I'm going to right where I landed. I landed at 72. And I'm going to put it right here, make it a little smaller. Another thing I want to do is I want to add what the size of my jump was. So I'm going to do plus 30, put it right here, and here I go. You are right. It's easier if I jump 30. So now I'm at 72. I only jumped 30, so I know I need to add one more. Let's do that. And then you pause again, etc., etc. You get the idea. You jump one more, etc. When you're done with all of your jumps and all of your recording and the moving of the arrow, the moving of the arrow is the best thing because you could do it as the audio is going. All of the other stuff, you do it when you're pausing it. So when you're finished, you just click done, and that's it. Let's solve this problem together using an open number line. The first thing I'm going to do is start at the beginning of the number line. All right, so I start with 42, and I know I need to add 31. So I wonder if I'm going to do jumps of 10. Perhaps 10, 10, 10, or if I'm going to do a big jump of 30. What do you guys think? All right, I'm going to stop right there because you know how I did all that. And now we're going to get to the last part. All of these right here on multimedia, this is where all my teaching slides are. Now right here on student template is where I am going to add the template without the audio, the template that I want students to solve. If your template looks just like your last slide in your teaching lesson, just take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and put it here. Otherwise, you can build it up and solve these problems. And then you can write down the problems, and that's it. Don't include any audio. Don't include any audio right here. If you do include the audio, there is a way to go about it. The kids have to figure out how to re-record, and that erases your audio, and then they can add theirs. But usually this template is better just to leave it on their own. Another thing I have been using is I give them a little sentence starter. So for example, I know that because, etc. This is very good strategy for EAL learners, and I put it right here, and I usually take a picture of the microphone just to remind students where that goes. So I put it right here, and then before I finish my audio on the other slide, I just say, remember to click on the microphone to record your thinking, and you can use the sentence starter at the bottom. And that really is very helpful for them because then they feel very confident when they're doing that. And that's pretty much it. After that, you just save your lesson, and then you share it with everybody. And if you need to make any edits, you can. All of the slides will stay the same. You just have to go over it. I hope you find it useful and that it adds a little bit of movement and spice to your lessons during distance learning. Good luck, everybody. I wish I could meet you perhaps another time. See you later.